you have heard about the supply and demand in forex trading, and you end up wondering how you can spot them on your charts, and you find yourself drawing it wrongly or rather spotting it wrongly. Okay, so guys, we have people who can draw for us to really help us identify the supply and demand zone by using indicators, very great indicators and very accurate indicators. Okay, so guys, we've been having a problem identify supply and demand zone. We're just going to look at this brand new indicator by LuxAlgo called supply and demand daily. That's the indicator I really want us to focus on majorly. Number one, I want us to understand its description and the usage of it. Okay, so guys, the only thing you have to do is stick in here till the end so that you understand all the usage of this indicator, so that anytime you insert it right on your chart, you always know what it tries to show you. Okay, so guys, I know you're ready for this video, so welcome you to Money Close FX Education YouTube channel. Maybe it's the first time you're hearing my voice. I really welcome you. Kindly join us by subscribing to this channel, clicking on that red button written subscribe, and definitely you'll be part of this amazing family, because I believe and honestly I know this is where you belong. So guys, before we add the indicator on our charts, I would love to define what supply is and what demand is, and I've decided to do this because I want you to really know what it shows us. Okay, so guys, let's have the definition of it right now. So guys, when you see supply and demand, you're supposed to know that supply refers to amount of an asset that is available, while demand is a quantity of an asset that people are willing to buy. So as supply of an asset increases, the value declines. Okay, conversely, as the supply of an asset decreases, its value rises. So as demand of an asset increases, its value rises, and conversely, as demand of an asset decreases, its value declines. So that's what you're really supposed to understand about supply and demand when you see them in forex trading. Okay, so guys, let me help you add the indicator on your chart. So guys, to insert the indicator on your chart, you only need a Tradingview account. The indicator is super free. So once you click on indicators tab, you're just going to type supply demand daily LuxAlgo. You click on it, and once you click on it, this is how it's actually going to appear right on your chart. So this is the indicator we're basically talking about. So immediately you insert it, expect it to look like this right on your chart. You can see even at the look of things, the indicator seems to be very accurate. So guys, let's look at the description of this indicator. After the description, we look at the usage. So guys, the description of this indicator, you're supposed to know the supply and demand daily indicator displays daily supply and demand areas on the user's chart. Okay, so these areas are constructed using the market data within a previous daily interval. So this indicator makes use of same logic as our previous. So that's a description of this indicator, and without further ado, let's look at usage number one. Okay, so guys, usage number one, the supply and demand areas of levels displayed by the indicator aim to provide potential support and resistance levels for users. So supply areas highlight where buyers are willing to exit the market and sell the asset, thus providing resistance and potentially causing prices to reverse or bounce back downwards, while demand areas highlights where buyers are willing to purchase this asset, thus providing a support and potentially causing prices to reverse or bounce back upward, just as you can see on our chart right here. So guys, all these levels you will see highlighted. You can actually change the colors. I've used the default settings, so if you want your supply zone to be in orange, you can do that under the settings. So guys, what you're supposed to understand about the supply zone, it shows you where buyers are willing to exit the market, thus providing us with the resistance level. When you see a demand zone as well, you're supposed to know this is where buyers are willing to purchase the asset, thus providing us with support zone. So you're supposed to know these levels can work as your support and resistance levels. So guys, let me hope you've learned about our usage number one. So let's go to usage number two. Usage number two, you're supposed to know the historical areas allow the users to study the evolution of supply and demand from one day to another. So wider areas highlight prices avoiding reverting to this area, while thinner areas highlight prices returning more frequently to them, just as you can see on my chart right here. So guys, this usage number two has really made us realize that we have wider areas and thinner areas. So what are you supposed to understand about wider areas highlight? Wider areas, you're supposed to know they highlight prices avoiding reverting to this area, but when it comes to thinner areas, it highlights prices returning more frequently to them. So this thinner areas shows us where price returns more to these levels. So you have an idea that we have thicker and thinner highlightation. But remember as well, they shows the supply and demand zone respectively, but they have a different meaning when it comes to thickness, where we have the wider one and the thick one. And definitely you can see like this one is thinner and this one over here is a wide one. Okay, so guys, that's all about usage number 2. So let's go to usage number 3. Usage number 3, you're supposed to understand that trends can be determined by looking at price position relative to previous day supply and demand areas. Price breaking down from the demand zone is indicative of a downtrend, while price breaking above the supply zone is an indicative of an uptrend, just as you can see on my chart right here. So guys, this is a very important thing to know as far as supply and demand zone is really concerned, because there is something we call breakout, where we're being told that breakouts can really identify the trend of the market, whether the market is trending to the upside or rather trending to the downside. How are you really supposed to understand this? So you're supposed to know when price breaking down the demand zone. So let's say the price has broken below the demand zone over here, it is an indicative of a downtrend. Remember, I've told you I've used the default settings, so you can change your demand zone to be in blue and as well supply zone to be in orange color, but I'm using the default setting. That's why you can see the confusion of colors right here. So for instance, this is our supply zone over here, and there is a breakout that has really happened. So once the price breaks the supply zone, it shows as an uptrend. So that tells you supply zones on an uptrend, it tends to be broken, but demand zones tends to be respected. And as well, the same happens to know the trend. The supply zone on downtrend, they are respected, and demand zone are broken below. So guys, let's go to the last usage of this indicator. And yeah, our usage number 4, you're supposed to know pullbacks or what we call throwback scenarios can also be common using this indicator. You will be able to identify pullbacks. And just to clarify this, or rather to make you understand it, just look on my chart right here. So looking on this chart over here, you will be able to really identify a pullback. Okay, a pullback happens, maybe there was a breakout that happens on your demand zone over here, it happens to break below, so you'll be able to identify a pullback when price comes to this demand zone over here, where we'll see price reacting to this zone over here. The only thing you need is confirmation, so that you can really know whether the market will proceed to the downside or rather the market will proceed to the upside. So this is how effective this indicator is. And as well, this happens when price happens to break your supply zone. You can wait for price to really come back, because the zone is actually very visible, and when price comes to supply zone, you'll be able to identify that's a pullback, because the price will be reacting to your supply zone the same way it is reacting to your demand zone over here. Okay, so guys, that's the important thing about this indicator. Very great indicator. It's called the supply and demand daily indicator, and basing on the usage and also the description of this indicator, you'll be able to use it more correctly and be able to understand how it appears right on your chart. Okay, so immediately you see this kind of an indicator, you have various ways you can use them, just as we have seen it when we were actually looking at the description and the usage of this indicator. Very great indicator. I will test this indicator on live market and definitely tell you the results. Okay, remember guys, just for clarification, I am just using the default settings, so you can change your supply zone to be in orange color, your demand zone to be in blue color. Okay, you can do all this under the settings. So explore everything about the settings and you're just going to know more about this indicator. Okay, so guys, let me hope you've learned something from this video. So I wish you nothing but the best. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't liked this video as well. Success in everything you do. Continue working hard, because I really know one day your hard work will pay. So what do I say guys? Bye, see you in my next video.